And hello, everyone, and thank you for your attendance today for this very special presentation of the Google Universe. My name is G. William James, and I am so glad you're here because this is a topic that is going to change your life. You know, I have been teaching the Google applications for many years now, and it never gets old because they continue to evolve, get better, and provide better applications for us to be able to communicate and market and build relationships with our new and growing customer base. But here's the thing. In 2023, cloud computing and the social media world, the technology has completely revolutionized how we meet people, how we market to our customer base, how we attract new clients, how we build our relationship management systems. And so everything has moved to the smaller space. You know, those of us who are old enough to remember when we had nothing but television, we knew that commercial TV was the only way that advertisers could get our attention. Well, in 2022, people aren't watching commercial television like that anymore. Our eyes are on our screens. Either you're watching streaming programming on your big screen television, which is typically commercial free, or you're on your social media. And so because of that, all rules have changed. And so this is going to be a way that you can improve on your business, how you attract customers, how you network with your colleagues, how you create your presence on the internet, how you basically build your business life using the internet, using the cloud, using your social media. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, Google Business Profiles, if you haven't seen it or you don't know what's really that's all about right now, get ready, hold your put your seat in your seat belt because it is about to get really, really powerful in here. Some of you have Google Business Profiles and have yet to do anything with them. That's going to change today too. So we're going to talk about what that is, why it's so important that you have it right now, and how to position yourself in SEO, which is search engine optimization, so that when people in your local market or people outside of your market, if they're searching for agents in your area, how are you going to present, and would they be able to find you in the place that you need to be? Keeping in mind that when you do a Google search, most people like yourself, you'll click on basically what you see on the first page, and more often the top of the first page. So how do you get to the top of the first page? Well, we're going to discuss that today. So I'm glad you're here and you get ready for this. So let's start with how to keep in contact with me. You can always reach me at my website at gwilliamjames.com. But an even easier method would be just to simply send me an email to william@gwilliamjames.com, and I answer each and every message that I receive. So if you write me with a question about something you're not quite sure, if you're reading our handouts and you want to get some clarification, please feel free to email me at any time and I will respond. Now, you can also connect with me on my social media. You can catch me on my Twitter feed. You can see my Twitter address there. You see my Facebook page. You see my LinkedIn connection. These are my names on all of these platforms. My YouTube channel, which is growing, and I have just created a whole new commitment toward my YouTube channel for 2023. And then, of course, there's Instagram. So follow me on my social network platforms and be sure to connect with me often, because I will be releasing a lot of content moving forward. Now, for those of you all who are new to me, and I know I see a lot of recognizable names here, and I really appreciate you being here and your continued support over the years. But just to give you an idea of who I am and where I've been, This is not something new for me. Google is not a novelty, and neither is the technology that we're going to talk about today. I have been teaching the Google platform and how we can use it for our own online mastery for almost 15 years now. So I've watched the evolution of Google from its first generation of tools when they first started coming out, competing with Microsoft Office 365. And I have been working with realtors since the year 2000. We're talking way back with the Palm Pilots and the first generation iPhones and the old Windows platform and Blackberries. I have been around teaching agents how to maximize on their productivity using these fantastic tools. Well, now it's not about the device. It's about what you're using on your device, how you're connected to the internet, and how people are able to see you. So that's what we're going to talk about today, how people are going to be able to discover you. So let's begin right here. This is your first act of participation. I want you to send me an email to this address, william@gwilliamjames.com. And in the subject line, I simply want you to type GBP SEO 2023. Now, it's important that you type it exactly the way you see it, because this is one of the great tools of Gmail. And if you've never been to my Gmail course, it is a must attend, because I teach you how to automate a lot of your systems. Google has a lot of capability in giving you the ability to automate a lot of your processes, so that when people are reaching out to you, they want to connect with you, they want to get answers from you, they can easily do so simply by clicking on your links. And from there, they would be able to get back whatever information that you have already preset up for them using this tool. And so you're going to get an example of that right now. If you send me this email and in the subject line, it looks exactly like you see it on the screen, then you're going to be able to get back the handout. And from there, then you'll have the handout that you can read. Now, it's important to me that once you get this handout, that you take the time to really read it, because one of the things that this handout has, it has a lot of screens and pages that we won't get time to talk about today. So I really want you to take the time and read that handout, so that you will get the full gist of what we're talking about today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. So why does Google do this for us? Why do Google provide all these tools for free? Why is this SEO prospect something that we don't have to pay for? Well, it's a win-win. And if you did a little research, you would discover that Google made over $181 billion in 2020 alone from its online advertising. That's when you do a Google search and you see some of those ad-related content. That's what it's all about. And so they make a lot of money doing that, and they want us to be there for that. So that's what the whole thing is. Now, Google considers us, when we're doing a search, their customer. So no matter what you're searching for, if you're searching for a home or you're searching for a pair of purple socks, what they want to do is provide you with the most up-to-date, most relevant, and most laser-targeted information that is available. And that's the important part right now. That's what we really need to focus upon. We need to focus on the most up-to-date, the most relevant, and the most laser-targeted information, because this is what is going to be the reason why we're doing what we're doing. And we're going to walk through this process step by step. All right, let me see here. Do me a favor, everybody. I want you again to send me a thumbs up if you can hear me and if you can see the presentation. As I mentioned earlier, the bad weather in my area has been giving me some network issues. And so I'm hoping that I'm not having those issues right now that's keeping me from connecting with you. So if you're seeing me, please go into the chat and give me a thumbs up. And thank you, Valerie. She says, I can hear you. And if you can see the screen, then I am happy. So let's go ahead and move forward. So this is what Google is all about. They want us to be there so they can show us the information that we're searching for. And they also want us to see the people who have invested money in advertising with them, because that's how they make their money. So they'll give it to us for free. So why is SEO so vital to your business? That's the question that we're asking right now. And number one, it's because it's going to put you in the face of the customers that want and need what you have to offer. You've got people out there that's ready to buy homes. You've got people ready to sell their homes. You've got real estate investors. You've got people who are relocating for their job or for any other reason. You've got people out there who are looking to invest in properties. And so they're looking for people just like you to provide them with what they need. So we want to be at the top of the search results because that's where most of the engagement is. And we're going to look at some of this as we move forward. Now, SEO is vital to your business because it improves your brand visibility. So that means that there's some things that we have to do on a basis that will improve how we're seen online. So we're going to talk about how you're going to be able to improve your base of marketing through social media, through other online content, even using tools in the Google applications. All of those things are going to play a very big role in how you're going to build your brand visibility. And even more so, it exposes you to a broad audience. I was talking just this weekend with an agent who just got licensed, bless her heart. And she was asking me about, well, how am I going to really get myself out there? How am I going to market? You know, what about my business cards? I'm like, well, your business cards are actually going to be secondary now, because you're not going to be in a place every time where someone can go do a hand-to-hand business card exchange. What you want to be is online, where people are going first to search for the technologies that are beneficial to us. So that's what we want to do. And then on this list, last but not least, I want to skip a couple of these things. It's going to give you an edge over your competitors. And that's an important part of this process too. We want to make sure that you have an edge, because you want to be on the top of the search result list anytime someone searches. And we're going to look at how people search a couple of different ways so that you can see how really subtle changes can make a big difference in how you are seen online. All right, so I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on these slides. I want to get right into the meat of the presentation. And so this is why I said, if you've got the handout in the reply email that I sent you, I want you to take some time and look at some of these screens, because this information is going to be very important and relevant to your knowledge base of learning about SEO and how you're going to improve your ranking in Google search results. So I'm going to skip over a few of these. And I'm going to actually switch over just for a second and give you some information on how I've been doing things here. So let's start with a Google search. Now, I've already pre-done this. And as you can see here, I simply typed in real estate agents, San Antonio, Texas. Now that would be something typical that a buyer or a seller would type in if they're looking for an agent in San Antonio, Texas. So the Google local ads network, if I were located in San Antonio, Texas, is going to give me a specific set of results. Now, because I'm not in San Antonio, Texas, it's giving me an actual broader result, because I'm in a different market looking into the San Antonio market. If I was in the San Antonio market, it would provide me with a different set of results just based on my location. Keep that in mind. Okay. So when I typed in real estate agents in San Antonio, Texas, this is what I got. At the very top, I got ads right there, ad-driven content. So there are pros and cons to investing in Google local ads. Is this going to help you? It can, but you know, if you don't do it right, it could cost you. So we're going to talk a little bit about what the ad presence is and how you can take that into deep consideration. But more importantly, if you look at these top three right here, they've got these green checks here. These green checks simply mean that they have been Google screened. And we're going to talk about that too. Google screen simply means that they have gone through a secondary check by Google. They've looked at their business, they've looked at their license, they made sure that they were a prominent member of the San Antonio, Texas community. And once they endorsed them, they put them at the top because they're saying that we checked for our consumer and we find these people to be relevant and we can actually give them a little bit of endorsement. Now, as I clicked on down where I can look at all of the agents that are Google screen, you see that there's a long list, right? How did this guy get to the top of all of these agents? Now, again, some people put on ads. The ads will drive you up toward the top, but there's no ad next to his name, which means he's not investing. And there's nobody on this list that I can see that is invested in ads. So how does Google decide who gets above the other person? Well, it's all about your content. So we're going to talk about this step by step as to how these people get where they are in terms of the search result. Keeping in mind, most consumers, they try to top onto the first 5 listings or results that come across, especially the first page. Some people will look at the first page and click on anything on the first page. Rarely, and think about your own Google searches, rarely do people go to page 2. So the goal is to get to page 1. Now, as we skip over the Google screened ads and we come down and look at the results for real estate agents in San Antonio, now we're looking at what's called organic search results. These are the ones that we've been looking at for years, right? So Google still provides us with those, but look at this. These have ads associated with them. So they're pushed up toward the top, all right? Even above, when we look down here and it says businesses, these are the Google business profiles. Now, each and every one of you should have one of these if you don't have one already. And we're going to talk about how to create one and how to maintain it. So here's a partial list of the Google business profiles, including their ratings and all of that. And I'm going to click on more businesses and it's going to give me the complete list. All right. Now, let's keep in mind, look at this. The first 2 here at the top, at the very top, they're investing in Google ads. Do you have to? No, because you can see number 3 here. They don't have ad next to their name, but yet they're right here in the top 5. So you don't have to invest in ads. You just have to be good at maintaining your Google business profile. So let's click on number 3 and let's look at what the Alexis Wieglin Real Estate Group is. And as I click over here and now I see the link on the side, this is their Google business profile. And so it's giving me 5.0 stars. Now that is not a direct indicator as to the success of this business or the position that they are on the screen. It does play a role, but just because they're 5.0 does not make sure or make certain that they're going to be at the top of the list. Then I get to see all of their services. I see their address, how to reach out to them, and where they are concentrating their business. You see all of this information. Now, keep in mind, I haven't left the Google page. I'm still on the Google page. So this is what Google wants us to do. They want us to stay on the search results page for as long as we possibly can. And so they create a tool like this so that we can be discovered and still stay on the Google page. Now, as I scroll down, I can see the reviews. I can see what people have written about them, and reviews play a very big role in your success. People, consumers love to see positive reviews about your business and what other people are saying. Now, this is what you're saying about yourself, because people get to write their own descriptions and all of that. And then you have, these are actually called the web results, basically the secondary organic search results, what other sites are listed about you and how you can be discovered that way. So this is what a Google business profile is all about on the desktop. If you look at them on a phone, so for example, if I'm in San Antonio and I do a search on my phone, which by the way, 85, almost 90% of all Google searches actually happen on a mobile device, your iPhones, your Androids, or tablets, mobile devices. So the experience is a little different in the sense that if I typed in real estate agent San Antonio, Texas, if I happen to be in San Antonio, Texas, now my phone's there too, obviously, and so it's going to give me local ad search results. So it's going to give me the same group of people. They may be in a slightly different order, but the focus is going to be on what you see over here, the Google map. So if I happen to be on the south end of San Antonio, Texas, it's going to give me real estate agent San Antonio, Texas near me based on my geolocation, and it's going to pull up the list. If I'm on the north side, it's going to give me a different set of search results because near me is relating to my geolocation. This is why it's so important that when you're creating your business profile, that your address, your office address is accurate. A lot of people get their pages suspended or get their pages denied because their addresses cannot be verified. And I spend a lot of time helping people to get their pages verified. And many times it's because of the address situation or their accounts that create the problem. So we're going to talk about how to create a Google business profile. And if you already have one, we're going to talk about how to update it, maintain it, and make sure that you can get to the top of this list so that people can recognize you when they search in your local area. Now, I'm going to stop just for a second and ask if anybody has any questions since we're on this particular subject. So if you'd like to, you can unmute yourself and ask a question, or you can type it in the chat. I've got the chat up too, and that will give you an opportunity to ask questions. So I'm going to do this on a number of different occasions in this course of this webinar. I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask questions. So if something comes up, you know, you may want to jot it down so that when I do stop for Q&A, that you will get the opportunity to ask the question. All right. All right. So let's move forward. Now, what I just showed you was when I typed in as a consumer, real estate agents, San Antonio, Texas. All right. Now, I also typed in a different search for the same market. I simply typed in realtor. The words that I typed as a consumer changes everything. That's what I really want you to see. I typed real estate agents here. I typed realtor here. They're both relevant, but look at the difference in the results. When I typed in real estate agents, I got these three people in the Google screen that tops across the top. When I typed realtor, I got a different set of people. One person's the same, but she's paying for ads, but I got a different set of people. Why is that? Because of this word right here. Instead of using real estate agent, I use realtor. Now, how do you make sure that you are part of the results regardless of what I type? It's all about the keywords. These words that you type make all the difference to the search engine. And we're going to talk about a little bit about the science of that. You can see how the difference is now. The page is different. And simply because I use the word realtor instead of real estate agent. All right. You're both. So you want to be included in both search results. All right. Now, let me go back to the presentation just for a second, because what we want to talk about now are really what makes the difference here. Now, when you're creating your internet presence, your online presence, be it your Google business page, your website, your social media, your blog page, all of those play a role. The three top factors that the Google search engine is looking for is number one, content, number two, backlinks, and number three, the Google search tools. I'm going to explain all three of these to you. I want you to get an understanding of the science of search engine optimization so that when you are creating your content, if you've got this in mind, it's going to help you to improve how you create your content and how you present it to your public. So here, number one factor, content is king. Now, what is content? Well, if you've ever put a post on Facebook, if you've ever posted on Instagram, if you've ever posted on LinkedIn, whatever you type is considered content. The words that you use are considered to be content. The photos that you included, it's all content. And so to the Google search engine, the content is really what drives the business in your direction. So we have to be strategic as to how we create our content and how we present it. And I'm not going to leave you hanging. We're going to walk through this process step by step. So the key is to deliver high quality content so that the search tools of the Google search engine will discover you, like you, and give you back to their consumer, which is the person doing the search. All right. So what do we mean by high quality content? You see people posting on social media all day. They're posting on their websites. They're posting in their Google business page profiles, but yet they're not getting the results that they would imagine or hope to get. And a lot of times it's because the quality of the content is lacking, or their process, they need to improve upon it. So high quality content is all about having unique and particular information that is relevant to you and your business, that is going to be attractive to customers. They're going to see what you have on your page. It's informative, it's up to date, and it directly targets what they're looking for. Okay. It explains your topic in detail. Now, keep in mind, this is kind of generic. So this fits whether you are a realtor or a restaurateur. So you have to keep in mind this content, or what you're reading now, fits all different kinds of businesses. All right. So the information that you have in your content is thorough. It explains the topics in detail. It is directly laser targeted, as I call it. Okay. It's well formatted. The way that your website is designed plays a role in how Google will present you to its public. And so we want to be cognizant of that as well. It's authoritative. It's based on experience, research studies, data, which means it's giving you up-to-date information. Google loves to give things away that is up to date, right? They're not gonna put at the top of the page of their results information that's 2 months old or something that was posted on someone's website a year ago. They're not going to do it. So you want to make sure that your information is as up to date as possibly can, and it's SEO friendly. Simply means it's got the keywords, it's got the key topics, and it's content rich. So we're going to talk about all of this. Okay. The number two factor are links. Now, believe it or not, what Google holds in high esteem is with somebody else outside of your organization, a different blog page, a different website, a media outlet, someone else that is posting content, writes about you and includes your content or your link on their site, Google considered that to be absolute gold. So for example, if the local MLS or the local association in your area has a newsletter or blog, and you become Realtor of the Week, and they do a little paragraph or two about you, your community service, and how long you've been a professional in the industry, things of that nature, and they mention your name, and then they put your website on that page, and that website is clickable, Google finds that and they go, oh my God, this is perfect. We want to share this with everybody. You see, backlinks are huge. So we want to find out how we can get backlinks. So they're simply references from another website. So you want to be able to get that kind of attention from outside sources. And it's important that you do it the right way. Okay. So the best way to get links from other websites is to get people to notice you. For example, being Realtor of the Week, or if there's something that you do in your community that's unique, if you are a particular specialize in military relocation, or if you are a if you are a green realtor and you are always giving your clients tips and useful ideas on how to improve the ecology using their home, then that could be something that will attract the media to you, or bloggers, somebody that could write about you. So you want to be able to seek those sources out. Now, it's important that you do it in a specific way. Now, this page here shows you what a backlink looks like. You see them all the time when you're reading online magazines, or you're looking at articles and you see the content that's typically in blue, and you can click on it, like what you see here. That's a backlink, and this is doing that company a great service. You see, that's what you want to get, backlinks. Now, what's a good link? Now, this is important because you may see on your social media, you'll see, and I see them all the time, these ads that pop up and says, well, we can get you backlinks, and we can get you these, and it's going to raise your SEO profile. It's going to increase your ranking, and backlinks absolutely work very well in that factor. But do not fall for that trick, because someone wants you to buy their service where they're going to provide backlinks for you. But here's the caveat, okay? A good link is a link added by a webmaster without monetary compensation. So the Realtor of the Week blog, or the media outlet that did a blog on you, or something that was related to the real estate industry in any kind of way that mentioned you, and they have a link to your website that's clickable, those are the best ones, and they're not monetary compensated, okay? A link coming from a related website, I just mentioned that, it's got to be something that's industry related. Now, that could be a contractor, that could be a roofing contractor, that could be anybody who does work around a home. It could be coming from an appraiser. It could be coming from anybody who's associated with the industry. Now, if you get a link from, Bob's auto mechanic shop on his blog or in his content, that's not going to count, because it's not related to your vertical market, okay? So it's got to be a link coming from a related website. A link coming from a website that's trusted by Google is absolute platinum. So if you do a Google search and you look on the top of these pages and you see Realtor.com popping up as one of the top pages, Zillow as one of the top results, that's because these are websites that are trusted by Google, because they get a lot of traffic and they have a great reputation. So Google, if they look at that and they see that they're recognizing you, they're going to push you up, because again, it's all about the customer that's doing the search. So you want to make sure that you are getting reputable and quality backlinks. If it's a link that adds additional value to the users of that website, if it's useful, it's going to count. It's going to count. Now, this is what I really want you to see. And this is when I was talking about those ads out there that's saying that we can get backlinks for you. You could actually get bad links because Google can recognize when somebody posts up information and they just put a bunch of references to your name and your website up there. The Google search engine will recognize that, and they will punish you. They can punish you if they recognize it, and they're very good at that. Okay. All right. Donna, I see your question and I'm going to answer it in just a moment. All right. So you have to make sure that you're in one of these above categories so that you can get quality backlinks. Now, here's some ways that you can get backlinks. All right. And I'm focusing on this because it is, as the number 2 factor, it plays a huge role in how quickly you can get to the first page and get pushed up to the top of the first page. When you're looking at the people who come up in the search results in your local area, I can guarantee you that they're getting backlinks from somewhere, because it is really a major factor in this process. So you want to make sure that all of these points that I just talked about are right here. So tips to get backlinks are here. Okay. Now, another way for you to get backlinks is for you to use it in your social media. So let's say, for example, you have your own Facebook profile that's, you do a lot of real estate related posts with. You can have your personal Facebook that you do it from, or you can have a Facebook business page that's dedicated to your real estate business. And you're posting content. Now, I know people who post up photo galleries of their latest listings and invite you to come on down and see this property. I think that's okay. I don't think it's the best practice that's going to get the most out of your time and energy, but I don't frown upon it because it could very well work for you. What I've always advocated has been, you become the authority in your local area when it comes to real estate. So when you get on your Facebook and you put your beautiful face on the screen and you simply take 3 or 4 minutes and talk about something that would be of interest to the consumer. For example, you may want to talk about the current state of the real estate market, why the inventory is what it is, why the interest rates are what they are. What about the current shift that's happening right now, where we're starting to see inventory rise, activity rise, the interest rate is stabilizing or even lowering in some cases. You can talk to your clients about this. You can talk to people who are interested in selling their home, the 3 best ways to stage your property or prepare it for the visits that you're going to get. Things like this is going to be really valuable to consumers. And I promise you, if you become that authority, when they are ready to make that move, they're going to reach out to you. Now, when you do put up that content, make certain that you put your website as a link in the content, because whereas the Google search engine does not really rank based on social media content, it's a backlink when your website is mentioned in that content. So you want to increase your own backlinks by putting it on all your related social media posts that you do. All right. So I'm going to skip over this part 2, and we're going to talk about number 3, the Google search tools. Now, every search engine, Yahoo, Google, I don't even know all the rest of them out there. There are plenty. All of them basically have similar technology from this perspective. They all have a crawler. Some people call them spiders, some call them crawlers. Google calls theirs the Google bot. What this tool does is, all it does 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is it scours the internet looking for content, looking for keywords, looking for related content, and they groups them together. It's called index it. So when they come to your real estate website, they look at all the words that you have there. They look at the relationships between the words. They look at your photos. They look at your site map if you have one of those. They're looking at everything. And they're compiling this information. They're looking at your blog pages. They're looking at all of this content, and they're compiling it so that they can be able to aggregate it and be able to present results when people do searches. So that's all the Googlebot does. It's a recorder. It doesn't care what it finds. It just records it. Now, what the Googlebot does with that content is this. It takes that information and it shares it with the rank brain. Now, the rank brain is artificial intelligence. It's subjective. It does choose what gets shown and what does not. It does choose what's old and what's new, what's relevant and what's not relevant. So that's why you want to be, you want to provide fresh content all the time. You want to have relevant content. You want to have your keywords up to date, and you want to be able to impress the rank brain. That's the point that I want to make, because it's making the choice as to where you get positioned. Okay. Now, the rank brain is artificial intelligence. It learns as it moves forward. So you want to teach it how to relate to you. And we're going to talk about that by talking about the types of content that you want to add moving forward. So you've got the Googlebot, then you've got the rank brain, and then we'll talk about the third one in a second. So this is what the rank brain does. This is how it figures out where you stand on the list. It ranks the sites, or in this particular case, it's talking about going to your website, because that's the primary index tool. If you don't have a website, you can use your Google Business Profile as a website. But if you have a website, it's going to your website and it's looking at this criteria. So it ranks by these features. Unique visits to a site. That's why you see realtor.com and Zillow at the top, because they're not isolated to your local market. They're getting visits from all over the world looking for real estate opportunities, if you will. So they get hundreds, even thousands of clicks every single day. And because of that, their unique site visits go up, and that's why they always stay at the top of search results. Okay. Now, they're also looking at the useful quality content of the site. Is it up to date? Is it relevant? And is it laser targeted to the searcher? The keywords that people type, does it respond to those specific words or those specific terms, right? Number 3, the quality of the backlinks. Remember, backlinks are huge. A lot of people overlook them, but that's why they're on page 2 and page 3, because they're not getting backlinks. And number 4, time spent on your site. Think about the last time you went on a website, and let's say that you were looking for purple socks, and you click on a page, and you get there, and it's a mess. The menus are hard to read. It's hard to navigate your way through the site. It's not easy for you to find what you're looking for. And what you do, you click off, and then you get on somebody else's. And when you get there, they have everything. And you see your purple socks right there, and you stay. Well, Google looks at how long you stayed at the old one, and now you're at the new one. And it says, okay, we know who we're going to show to the people next time when they're looking for purple socks. You see, so that's what you want to do. You want to impress the rank brain. So you're being recorded by the Googlebot. You're impressing the rank brain, and now there's BERT. BERT again is also artificial intelligence, and this is designed to even fish out a little further. They're using this language processing tool so that it even kind of assumes what you were looking for. Okay, so for example, if you type in, I'm looking for purple socks, it's not going to show you just places that have purple socks. They're going to show you places with purple socks with polka dots. They're going to show you purple socks that are compression socks. They're going to show you all different kinds of purple socks. You see, and that's because Bert is looking at what you're saying and saying, well, maybe you're looking at this too. Or maybe you just didn't type everything. So we're going to give you some options here. Google wants to give you the best of what they can find. So these are the things that are making the difference: the content, the backlinks, and the Google search tools that's creating the difference. All right. And then, of course, there's your Google business profile. And as I said before, some of you have them and haven't done much with them. And some of you have yet to even start a Google business profile, which means you're basically on equal footing. So if you don't have one, it's easy to go and set one up. If you have a Gmail account, you're 75% there. If you already have a Google business profile, it's a matter of going in and setting up the experience. So let's just take a look at that really quickly. Let me come back to the internet here. And it is as simple as typing in, I'm going to put in the site, google.com/business. And it's going to take you to this introduction page. So either you can sign into your Google account, whatever your Gmail address is, or you can manage. Now, let me say this, because my experience has created this point that I'm about to make. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of times that clients that I've been working with, they've had problems getting verified or even being suspended, is because they would try to set up their Google business profile under a specific Gmail account. And then when they want to maintain it or they want to get it verified, they're signed into a different account. You want to make sure that you're signed into the right account, especially if you've got more than one Gmail account. If you're a Keller Williams agent, and I know your kw.com account is a Gmail account, and then you may also have a personal Gmail account, I'm going to suggest that you use your personal Gmail account to set up your Google business profile page. That way you have control over it. You have the flexibility of using it the way that you choose to use it. Now, will you still be able to put your Keller Williams address and all of that in there? Absolutely. Absolutely. No problem. There's no bridge separating you. Okay. So if you use your personal Gmail account, stick with that one through the entire process. Don't switch back and forth, because it's going to create you with heartache that you do not want to experience. Now, at that point, you can just come into Manage Now. And now you're going to see, now this is my profile manager, since I manage so many different agents. I'm going to pull up one. I'm going to pull up my friend, Rubina Riono. She's a Keller Williams realtor out in Southern California. So she does Orange County and Southern California, the Los Angeles County area. And she is very successful at what she does. Now, I can tell you now that because of what we've done with her page, she is getting a lot of attention. If you can see here, she got 548 views this month of January alone, right? A lot of people are finding her page. Why is that? Because if you look over here on the right side, her information stays up to date. Now, if I did a search for her, I'm going to do a separate search of her Google site. I'm just going to put in Rubina Riono. And this is what the public sees her page as. Oh, I guess I should sign in a different way. Let me sign in here a different way, and then I can see it differently. Now, I'm going to type in Rubina. I'm signing in as a consumer now. Rubina Riono. This is what her page looks like. Oh, it didn't do it. All right, but anyway, you can see all of her information. There's access to her website, directions to her office. I can phone call her directly from here. Here's all the information that I need to know about Rubina's business, and I'm still in the Google search result. Okay, here's all of her reviews. Here's her information about her business. Here's her photos, her link to her Facebook profile, and then what other people are searching for. You see, including her Keller Williams office there. So there's all kinds of things that can come about by being set up in your Google business profile. Now, for getting inside, I'm going to actually open my own. Because once you get ready to set up your business page, these are the steps that you need to do. You need to go in and create a profile for yourself, and you need to talk about your business. Now, keep in mind that every single word that you write is a keyword. It's searchable and indexed by the Google search engine, by the Google bot. So you want to talk about your role as a real estate professional in your local market, what you specialize in, or the types of services that you provide, and what you are capable of providing to that individual. And again, keeping in mind that every word that you use is something that can be searched. So when people are searching for, let's say that your specialty is you're a buyer's agent. Okay. I mean, you love selling homes too, but your bread and butter is you're the expert in buyer as a buyer's agent. So you're going to emphasize your skill as a buyer's agent, right? And you're actually going to go in and put that information in. Then you're going to put in your contact information, your website, your name, the areas that you serve. So in this particular area, you can put in all of your communities, all the surrounding communities, the surrounding suburbs in your area, because all of those are keywords. So if you're in San Antonio, Texas, you may want to talk about the outskirts of San Antonio, Texas, right? As a realtor, okay? And you want to make sure that all of those communities are listed, because if anybody types them, then you become part of the results. Now, I want to pull this up because I got a question a little while ago where Donna Brown, she said, when it comes to her address, what address would I need to use? My broker is in Jacksonville and I'm in Pensacola, and I use a post office box. Well, this is what I would do, Donna. You can still use your broker's office in Jacksonville, Florida, but you can just as prominently mention your activities in Pensacola and why you do so much work in Pensacola. I would imagine that as an agent that does a lot of work in Pensacola, you probably work a lot with military families. You're expert in military relocation. So you want to emphasize that. Now, your broker's office, again, is in Jacksonville. So that's where your Google office page would be centered upon. Now, because of you typing in Pensacola so much in your content, you're going to be able to be recognized for that. Now, the Google Maps may not support you unless in your Google business profile here, you highly emphasize your activities in Pensacola. Because if somebody in Pensacola types in real estate agents near me, your office address is going to come up in Jacksonville, so they may not see you. But if your content is showing your activities in Pensacola, it's a good possibility that you might. So that one is a little tough one, okay? But you have to establish yourself in an office. Someone else asked about a post office box. A post office box is not going to work. You need to have a physical brick and mortar address. Now, which brings up the question, what if your office is in your home? Okay, do you have to put your home address in there? That could compromise your family security, that kind of thing. Well, the answer is no. And if you look at this, you look at my business, when it shows my location, no location, deliveries and home services only. Okay, you can set up a condition with Google. Your home address would be the address that you verify your business, but it would not display on your Google business profile. So you can say, you can put your city and your zip code, but not the address. That way, if someone is in your area, your specific side of town, you will still come up because of the zip code and the city, the town that you're in, but the address will not display. Okay, your address will be in the background, so Google will still be able to use it to display your content, but it will not display your address to the user on their phone. Now, the downside to that is you will not get a link that says navigate to your office. Okay, because if it's not showing an address, Google's not going to pull up turn by turn directions to your office. Many people rely upon that. So even though your office may be at your home, you may want to use your broker's brick and mortar address as your office address and stick with that. But then you can do a lot of your content building around your home zip code or the hometown you live in if your broker's office is not close to where you live, because you want to be able to garner that attention as well. But it's very important that you put in an address. So I would suggest that you use your broker's brick and mortar office address as your business address. It will be a lot cleaner, and you're going to avoid a lot of problems that Google could possibly cause you with that confusion. And it's a really difficult hill to climb when it comes to Google, because they're very serious about your maintaining your location in your marketplace. Okay, any questions about that while I move forward? Because I know that could be a little confusing, but it's extremely important that you get that when it comes to location. Okay, so Donna asked, so every single Facebook biz post should have a link to my website? Donna, I'm going to say yes. When you talk about your business on your Facebook post, when you're typing your commentary, when you're putting in your post information, right there where you would put your hashtags, right there before your hashtags, put your website. And when you post it, it's going to automatically turn into an active link, because that's what Facebook does. That's what LinkedIn does. That's what Twitter does. Instagram doesn't do that. You have to go in and put your Facebook, put your website in your profile, because Instagram doesn't support links at this time. So you put your links in your bio. That's why when you see in your comments, or you see people's comments in their Instagram posts, they'll say links in bio, because that's the only place you can put them on Instagram. But everybody else, all your other social media content platforms, you can actually put links in your descriptions. So that's what you want to be able to do. Okay. All right. So let's move forward. When you're building your Google business profile, you want to make sure that you have the ability to put in the types of content that you have in terms of your product. So if you're a buyer's agent, you're a seller's agent, you can put all of those little categories, and it will show you. It'll even have some pre-designed keywords for you to choose from. Just choose as many as you can fit into your profile, and they will all count toward your content, and they will serve as keywords in your profile. Also, where it says here under reviews, you want to do this. You want to make sure that you get reviews. Reviews are extremely important in your business. So here's one way that you can get them. You can click on this little blue box here. It says get more reviews, and then just copy this link. Just click on those little double boxes right there. Now, you can text this to somebody. You can put it in your social media profile. You can email it to people. You can put it on your website. And anyone who has done business with you in the past, who you could ask for a review, do so. Make it very easy for them to provide you with a link by giving, a review by giving them the link. And all they have to do is click on it, give you the number of stars that they want you to have, and move forward from there. Now, one thing that I want you to be careful of or be cognizant of when you're getting reviews, people will put in all the reviews that they want, but there's something happening in the Google world right now where there are actually some bots out there that are just putting indiscriminate links and indiscriminate reviews on people's pages. It could be competition that's doing it, or it just could be, hackers out there having their own little fun. And I can say that I've been getting a few where you would see I would get maybe something that says 1 star. I don't see any right now, but you'll get a 1 star. It won't have any commentary on it. It'll just have a name that you can't trace back. And I've discovered through my relationship with other people who do what I do, that there are bots out there that are creating this kind of thing. And it's all designed to bring your score down. And when you complain to Google, see, for example, if this was a bot review, I can click on this menu right here and I can report it and say it's spam, or it has something negative in it, or it's bullying or harassment. And when you choose this, Google will take a look at it and they'll come back with an answer and say, well, we didn't see it as such, or we see it as being bullying, harassment, and we're going to take it down. More often than not, they're going to leave them up. They're going to say, well, we didn't see a problem with that. Well, from what I understand, Google is really starting to change their view about that. And they're starting to look at them with a little bit more discretion. And if it does look like that it could be a bot that's putting up negative content on your reviews, then they'll take them down. So you may start to see if this happens to you. And I know it happened with one of my clients who was getting negative reviews. They took down a few of them, but not all of them. So that's something that I was want to keep in mind. But reviews are still very, very important. You also want to be able to use the messages feature. You want to turn this feature on. This way, people can connect with you right there from your Google business page. They can hit that little messages and type in, I'd like to meet with you. Or if they have a question for you, it comes to your phone as a text message. And you reply back to them, and you can build up a communication with people right there from your Google business profile right back to them, and they'll respond as an email. Now, it's important that if you do turn on messages and you start to get messages, you reply to those messages, each and every one of them within 24 hours, because if you don't, Google's going to punish you for that. They're going to say you're not being responsive to our customers. So they want you to absolutely use that. You also want to be able to put up photos, and you want to be able to put up content that's relevant. If you want to put up a few of your listing photos and what have you, fine, please, you can do that. But don't overdo it, because Google may look at that and say, well, no, you're doing unfair advertising. But you can get away with putting up photos maybe, once or twice a week, that kind of thing. So there's all kinds of things that you can do here. You can turn on bookings. This is a third-party app where you can literally have show someone your calendar, your schedule, where they can book appointments with you right there from your Google business profile. And again, this is still on the Google search results page. They haven't gone to your website yet. They're still on the Google search results page. So if you need any assistance with having this, with getting these items updated on your Google profile page, you can email me, or you can just go through that handout, because I really put a lot of explicit detail into creating your profile in that handout. All right, let's move forward. So someone says, I can't seem to add photos or videos from my phone. Is that not possible? No, it's not impossible, but it's just not easy. So I would say, just do it from your desktop. It makes it a lot easier. It's much more seamless. And I would say that would probably be the best way. That's the only way that I add any content into into the Google business profiles. All right, so let me get back to the presentation here, because I only want to go maybe another 30 minutes, and I will leave the room open for as many questions that we need to answer, but I just want to move forward. See, this is why I said I don't want to go through all of these different pages that's in the handout, because there's so much content. All right. So I want to skip over this, and I've already talked about all of these. And now I want to talk about getting Google Screen. Now, remember when I did those Google searches, and right across the top, you saw those agents with the little green check. That simply means that they went through the Google screening process. To get that badge, it's not difficult at all, but it basically gives you another level of credibility to the consumer base. Google says that they've checked you out, and they are giving you a thumbs up. They're saying that you're reputable in the community. We checked your license, we checked your insurance, you know, we did a little background on you, and you're okay with us. Now, if you're married to a contractor, he's a plumber or electrician, he can get Google Screen too if he puts his Google business profile up, but it's a little different. They call it Google Guaranteed. And so it does somewhat the same thing. They do a background check on you. They check your license, they check your insurance, they do all of that. But the Google Guaranteed, if you're a contractor, for example, they're endorsing you as a reputable member of that community. And if you don't do the job that was that you promised your client base and Google endorsed you, that could actually cost Google money, because the consumer can come back and complain, and Google actually will compensate them. So you want to be sure that you have your information in order. Now, how do you get a Google Screen badge? Well, what you do is, and I'll show you on the next screen, the link on how you can actually get there. So this is what it's all about. So you can read this, and it shows you that you've been checked by a Google or a partner of Google, and they're giving you a badge of trust because you've checked your license checked. They've also checked other background information. Now, if you live in a state where in order to get your license, you had to submit a background check to the real estate commission, they don't tend to check you out a second time because the state did it. But many states don't require that. So if they do, then Google's going to do a little background check on you. But if you don't, they don't have to, because the state has already done so. Now, if you want to be Google Screen, simply copy this link right here at the bottom, copy and paste it, or right there from the handout, if you will. If you click on it and press Control, it'll if you're on your computer, it'll launch to that site. And then you just go through the process of filling it out, telling them you're a real estate agent, what city and state you operate from, pull up your information, and it's a pretty short process. And before you know it, they'll come back with you and say, oh, you've been Google Screen. Now they push you up. You get to the first page or somewhere nearby that, but there's still work to be done. It's not going to push you up unless your content is in order, it's fresh, it's up to date, it's relevant, and it's laser targeted. You still have to make sure that your content, your backlinks, and all of that is still impressing that rank brain. Otherwise, it's not going to push you up in a prominent space. Okay? So this is what being Google Screen is all about. So I want you to read over these slides very carefully, and then go in there and do that thing. All right. Now, what about your website? Many of you have your own separate websites. If you're with a company that provided you with a web page, there's not a whole lot that you can do with this because they control that page. But if you have your own website, there are things that you can do or have your web developer do that will increase your ranking by increasing some of the things that are in your website. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time with this. I will just say, read this and then talk to the person that created your website If you did it yourself, go into GoDaddy or Wix or whoever you went in to create your website and look at the SEO section. And it will teach you how to do these. First of all, your on-page SEO. Now, all of us have this. The words, the terms, the content, the photos that the public can see is your on-page SEO. So you want to make sure that the images are seen on your website, that it's clean, it's up to date, it's fresh, it's easy to navigate, it's easy to read, and it's chock full of information about you and the businesses that you provide. Your off-page SEO is that which is not seen by the public. It's kind of in the background, but there are keywords that be associated with the different pages. For example, if you've got a page that talks about your real estate business, you've got a separate page for buyers and sellers, you've got a reviews page. Each one of those pages have separate keywords that the Google bot will see and will index that will be related to your website. Google loves to see this kind of thing if you have your off-page SEO done. So talk to your web developer, whoever developed your website, and ask them about their experience with off-page SEO as well as technical SEO. Now, if you go to your website and you've got multiple pages, each one of the tabs in your website is a separate page, and each of them have a separate name. The technical SEO would be the name of that page, for example, and then the description of that page, which is not seen by the public, but that's your opportunity to write in a description of that page and what that page does for your website. That's chock full of keywords that the Google bot will see, record, and index. This is how you get pushed up in the search results because of these tools. The keywords, the photos, the content that's either on top on the page or in the background in technical and off-page SEO. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, make sure that your social media content contains a backlink to your website. It's indexed by the search engine. All right. Even though social media doesn't play a big role in how your page is ranked, the backlink does. Okay. Blog content absolutely plays a big role because it's online, it's publicly available, it's associated with your website, especially if you're using like Google's tool for blogging, right? When you're writing or you have other people writing for you, they're putting in your name, they're putting in your website, they're making it clickable. All of that counts. And then your Google Cloud apps. Many people don't know this, but I love teaching this. And when I talked about it at the top of the class, for over 15 years, I've been teaching agents how to use their Gmail, their Google Calendar, their Google Drive, their Google Photos, their YouTube accounts to maximize on how they communicate, build their audiences, and build their relationships with their client bases, right? Let me show you something that is innovative and so powerful. This is how you can use your keywords, your content. I'm going to come over here. I have my Google Calendar open. All right. So let's say that on February 2nd, I have an open house that I'm scheduling. So I'm going to open up my calendar and I'm going to put in open house event. Now, you would think that this is just going to remind me that I've got an open house on February 2nd. That's fine. It will do that as well. And let's say I put in a time and I'll say it's between noon and 4 p.m. So I'll put in 12 to 4. All right. So now it's on my calendar as 12 to 4. Now, here's one of the things that I've always held Google Calendar in high esteem for. I taught time management for a number of years. The Covey system and the day timer, day runner, back when we used to have to use a pen on paper, but none of that matters anymore. One of the things that Google Calendar talks about, it gives us the ability to use multiple calendars within one calendar. Because I've always said that the rule number one of time management is that you should only have one calendar. So the calendar on your phone and the calendar on your desktop should be the exact same calendar with the exact same information. If I add it to my desktop, it comes to my phone and vice versa. And if you don't have that, talk to me and I'll give you the insights on how to make that happen. But here, if you look over here on the side, I have a calendar and it's called Open House. And in that calendar, I'm going to put all my open house events, right? So here I've created one here, open house event, and I'm going to put it in that calendar. So I'm going to scroll down here and we already got the time. I don't need to do that. Okay. So here, February 2nd is the open house event. Guess I have to do it over. Open house from 12 to 4. All right, so we'll put that time in again until 4 o'clock. Now, as I scroll down, let me get this out of the way here, and I tap more options right here on the screen. Okay, now I can put in the location of the property. So I can put 123 Main Street. As you can see, it's pulling up my local event, my local places here. So I'm just going to pick one. I'll say, okay, it's going to be at 1236 Executive Park Drive, okay, here in Atlanta. Now, under which calendar, it's not going to be in my home calendar. I'm going to put it in my open house calendar, which means I can segregate my activities by group. And this particular is my open house calendar. I can even change the color of what it looks like on my screen. Okay. Now, under visibility, I'm going to change this from default, which is only seen by me, to public. Now, what this means now is that my calendar event is not just seen by me on my personal calendar. It's now on the internet. Okay. So someone could literally stumble across my open house event on the internet. What are the odds of that? Pretty low, whether they're going to see this. But that's not the important part. Whether they get to see it or not is not the important part. The important part is that because it's now publicly available on the internet, the Google bot will see it. It will record it. It will index it because it's my calendar. It's going to associate it with me and my Google business profile and all my other content. Now it is literally content. See, so there's many ways that you can add content that's going to push your ranking up higher. This is just one of them. Now, above and beyond that, here I can put in a great description of the property. So I'm assuming that people are going to see this, but the Google bot's going to see it. So I can put in 3, bedroom, 4 bath. Now I'm just typing in the shortcuts for expediency, but I would type in those words, bedroom, bath, because those are keywords. I would put in if it's on a corner lot. I would put in if it's near the university or the medical center, or if there's a particular industry in your area that attracts people from all over the country, whatever major industries in your area, if it's close to public transportation. I've got all this space down here that I can type. Now, as you can see here, I've got a menu that I can do other things to. So I can, if I have an attachment, if I want to attach a document or attach a newsletter or attach something like that, that is in PDF form, or if it's in a document on my computer, I can add an attachment like I would on an email. But what about online content? Right here, I've got a place for a link. This is what will be good for that. If you use Google Photos and you've got a gallery of photos of this property, let's say you've got 30 or 40 pictures. You don't have to post all of those 30 or 40 pictures. You go into Google Photos, find that album, get the link for that photo album, and paste it right there. Now it becomes an active link in the calendar. And if somebody does find this, or you do send it to somebody, they could click on the link and see the gallery of photos because it's all online. But more, even more prominent than that is with this link, I can do this. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I teach in my Google Universe course. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the Google Online Masterclass that's coming up. I'm going to go into my Google Drive and I'm going to pull up my sites, Google Sites. And this, you're going to find this amazing. In Google Sites, I can create single page websites. So you can have one of these for each one of your properties. You can have the, if you don't have a website, you can create one of these and make it your landing page for your website and have all your information that you need to display publicly on the internet right here on the Google Sites page, right? Now I'm going to show you one that I created just for demonstration purposes. And I've got this one. Now, mind you, it's crude, but it's going to give you the point that I want to make here. Okay, so it's a single page website. And remember, every single word that you see here is a keyword. It's searchable, it's recordable, and indexable by the Google bot. So here, you want to focus on luxury. There's that keyword, right? Lifestyles, realty, your name, your phone number, your website, backlink, the address of the property, the price of the property, the initial curbside photo of the property. Over here, you can post a photo of your business card, right? With all your current information right there. See, everything that you want the customer to see is going to be here. Here's a YouTube video of the community. This is in a little town called McDonough, Georgia. I did this a couple of years ago, so I'm sure the price of this property is much higher than it is today. But here's a little video of the community of McDonough. So if someone is coming into the area, they can get all of this information right here from this one page. Now, here's my bullet point list that you can make as part of your marketing scheme. Think of everything that I've considered here as far as keywords are concerned. I've got the name of the town. I've got the state. I've got Atlanta. I've got downtown Atlanta and the time it takes to get to downtown Atlanta. I've got the airport. Okay. I've got the interstate that it connects to. I've got the name of the county. I've got the word Georgia spelled out. I mentioned suburban / country living. And this is a big term in this area, Metro Atlanta's best kept secret. You see, each one of those are keywords that are relevant to the search. So if somebody is doing a Google search from California and they're looking for real estate in McDonough, Georgia, this is going to rank highly because it's got all the words. If they type in Henry County, it's going to show. If they're looking for a gated community, if they want to live along the I-75 corridor, I've cast a wide net. That's the key I want to emphasize. I'm casting a wide enough net so regardless of what they type in the search engine when they're looking, I'm going to be part of the result. Now, how high I get on that result depends on me, the content that I've created already, and the content and the keywords that I'm putting here that's going to associate me with what that person is looking for. Now, I've got other photos here, but let's say I've got 50 photos of this property total. Here's the link for more photos. It's associated with my Google Photos app. And I created an album in Google Photos, and here's the link to it, and it would absolutely go right there. Here's the open house. Where's this link going? This link is going back to the, not there, but to the calendar. It's going back to this event. So if somebody wanted to see the links that I have here or the description, the date and time of the open house, it's all going to be here under this link, right? And you can put more content here as you will. It is a single page website. Now, at the end of the day, All I have to do is take that published link. This is the site. I can copy it. Now, I can share this with my public. I can put it on my social media. You want to see my latest listing? Click on this link. If you want to text it to somebody, you want to email it out to your funnel, however you want to share this, it's a live website and you can do that and send it out to people. And trust me, it's going to be indexed by Google. Now, here's something that you need to keep in contact with. You need to know, very importantly, when it comes to your website and it comes to your online content, make sure that it's mobile friendly. This is important, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure that it's mobile friendly. Remember, almost 90% of Google searches and results are done on the mobile device. And so if the mobile presence of that website is attractive, if it's easy to navigate, if people can relate to it, they're going to stay on it and they're going to engage with you. So on this particular page, it actually gives you the ability to see it from different perspectives. Right now, we're looking at the desktop version. I'm going to click on the mobile phone version, and now I can see what this site looks like on a mobile phone. Is it going to provide me with the information that I need as a consumer? Absolutely. It's laid out. It's already done. All the links are there. It's attractive, and this is going to work. You see? So it'll even show you what it looks like on a tablet. But this is what it looks like on the desktop. So make sure that all of your content, you may want to talk to your web developer about this. Make sure that your website is the same, that it is mobile friendly, because more activity is happening on the phone than any other device that you have out there. But I wanted to emphasize this because I can take this link. Now let me go back to the original site that we created. Now over here, all these templates and whatnot, come over here and have some fun. Before you actually post up any of your listings, come over here and try this out. Spend some time and have some fun with it and see all the different things that you can do. I do teach this in my master class though. But here, I'm going to take this link and copy it. I'm going to go back over to that calendar event and I'm going to insert that link. And I'm going to put in, click here for the site. Whatever you want to type here. And you see here, in the calendar event, I've got a link to that website. And all I have to do is save it at that point. And now it's publicly available to the internet. The Google bot can see it. It's going to index it. And this is going to push me up because it's quality, up-to-date content. I don't care what you're posting. Just make sure that you keep it fresh. If you see that this has been up for a couple of weeks and you want to make it fresh, come in and change I-75 to Interstate I-75 and then save it or refresh it, and it's brand new content. You see, there's no saving here, by the way. So I just said all you have to do is put it up there and it's going to automatically update and it's fresh. So Google wants fresh, I'll give them fresh, whether it's in your YouTube, Google Photos, Google Calendar, the publicly available Google Calendar events, anything in your Google Drive, just keep them fresh. And the Google bot will absolutely love what it is that you're doing. Okay. All right, let me pause here for a question or two, because we're getting real close to the end and I'm running out of time here. Good question. She says, if we don't share it, does Google still index it? Yes. Google's going to index it regardless because it's publicly available. That's the only key. You have to make it public. Okay. Let's see. Can we add open houses that are in our area but are not ours? Well, if that's a common practice in your area, if it's going to be an open house that you want to bring your clients to, sure, why not? If it's an open house, it's publicly advertised. You want to bring some of your buyers to the open house, sure, put it on your calendar, make it public, and just put it out there so that they can interact with you. You can certainly do that. So there's a lot of opportunity here. You just have to take full advantage of it. All right, so let's go ahead and start winding down, everybody. I want to finish up with talking a little bit about Google Ads. I know some people wanted to know, is Google Ads worth the cost? Well, it just depends. You've got two different types of Google Ads. You've got the Google local ads, which would be, real estate agents near me based on the geolocation of your phone. And then you've got the online site where you can type in any city in the world, and it's going to give you Google results. Okay. If you go into ads, you will get prime first page list placement. They want to prominently put your investment in front of their consumers. So that's one of the benefits of investing in Google Ads. Now, do they charge you, like the same amount every month? No, it's not like that. It's a pay-per-click system. So you do not get charged unless and until someone actually clicks on your link and engages with you. All right. Now, those ads could be anywhere from $1 to $3, $3.50. It depends upon date, time, engagement, and what it actually, there's kind of like an auction, a bid going on with similar sites and your competitors, if you will, that are engaging for the prominent position. But it's going to be around in that price range for the most part. Now, huge companies could pay a lot more for their ads, but for the real estate industry, you're probably going to pay something really, really low. And the typical, from my experience, has been somewhere between $300 and $500 a month. Now, if you think that's a lot of money, look at it like this. It could be as little as $10 a day. Okay. But if you are spending $10 a day, that means you're getting engagements. That means people are clicking on you. So they're billing you based on your clicks. So if you're converting those clicks into business, then the service is paying for itself. So you have to look at it from that perspective. Don't look at it from the perspective of what it's going to cost. Look at it from the perspective of what it's going to bring you if you invest in it. And it still requires work on your part. You saw that there were some people that had ads that were number one. How did the person become number two or number three instead of number one? Because it still requires work on your part. You still need to have your stuff up to date, relevant, and laser focused. All right. Google's not going to put you out there in a prominent position if you're not giving their customer, the person that's doing the search, the right information, and it fits their requirements. Your landing page is clean. Your site is informative. It's up to date. It's fresh. All of that's going to play a huge role in where you get, even though you're investing in ads. Okay. So when you see those people with that little ads designation, that means they're investing a little money, but they're at the top, which means they're getting a lot of clicks, because people tend to click on the first 5 up to maybe the first 10 that they see. So they're getting a lot of opportunities to get into the face of those people that are qualified because they searched for you in the first place. You see, so you have to look at it from a number of different perspectives. All right. So I want you to read over this stuff a couple of times if you need to, because you want to answer yourself these questions. Do you want your business to appear when users are searching? Do you want your business to be there at the exact moment someone is searching? You want your business to show up in search results when other businesses are showing up? Do you want to engage with those people? If the answer is yes, then it's worth to look at it. Okay. Now, let's finish up with talking about keywords. Because remember, content is king. That was the number one factor. Keywords are the number one factor of content. So you want to make sure that your keywords are up to date and it's the right words to attract the right people at the right time. Okay. There's a difference between Rome, Georgia and Rome, Italy. You see? So you want to make sure that when people say, I'm looking for real estate in Rome, that they're not looking in Italy. All right. So you're going to make sure that you put in the word Georgia. You're going to make sure that you put in words that are relevant to the local marketplace. Okay. You want to use 3 to 5 word phrases. They're called long-tailed keywords. They're going to increase your visibility too. So you got keywords and you've got key terms. So realtor is a key word. Real estate agent is a key term. You see? You want to make sure that your website has great content. This is something you need to talk to your web developer about and talk about the quality of the content on your website, making sure that it's kept up to date, kept clean. If you have a KW website or your agency, your brand, they maintain your website. Talk to the people who handle the IT in your department about updating your description, making sure that the relevant keywords that you have describing you and your particular page has the right combination of keywords and key terms that are going to attract people, because your website is going to be a part of that process. Okay. And then, as I showed you a few minutes ago, make sure that your website and all of your content is mobile friendly. That is a major factor in whether or not Google is going to put you in a prominent position in front of their contact. Okay. So I want you to learn the keyword basics. All right. And I will talk about these when I'm developing another course that's going to talk about nothing but Google Ads. So be looking out for any emails that I may be sending out, invitations to a webinar similar to this, that I won't talk about SEO. I'm going to talk about Google Ads and Google Ads extensively. In fact, I am working on getting my certification so that I will be qualified from Google's perspective to say that I'm able to teach this technology and share with you the best ways and the best practices of using Google Ads. Okay. All right. So I wanted to show you about how you charge for them. All of this is here. So I want you to read over this content. And if you have any questions, then let me know and I'll be certain to answer. Now, right here, I've got 3 pages of the top real estate keywords. They're not everything. In your local market, you're going to find words that are unique to your market. If you live in a town where it's a university town, or if there's an aerospace industry in the area that attracts people from all over the world, or your manufacturing plant, something that attracts people, you want to use keywords that associate with that, because that's what's going to bring those people to you. But these are more general keywords and key terms, but you have to make sure that you use them and you create content that's going to utilize these words in the right way. Keeping in mind, look at the first 2, realtor and realtors. Those are 2 different keywords. And so don't assume that by using the word realtor that you're going to be part of the real estate, the results if somebody puts a plural on there. You want to be able to use both. So you could say something like in your content, I am a top-rated realtor in a city full of some of the best realtors in the United States. So I've used both words in the same sentence, and now I've got 2 different keywords that are representing me. So you want to be able to take that into consideration. So when you're creating your content, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to refer to these words and make sure that you're using these in your content, because these are the keywords and key terms that are going to attract the public to your information. All right, so let's go into a little of the Q&A. Let me read what's in the chat right now. Donna says, the single page website, if I don't share that, is it also indexed? Yes, it will boost your site, and you can actually share it or not, but it's going to be indexed because, number one, it's associated with your Gmail account, which is your Google account, and number 2, it's publicly saved. which means it's going to be indexed. Suzette says, off topic, does Google have a CRM, or can you recommend that works well with Google products? Google does have a contact manager system that I recommend highly, and it integrates very well with the Google system. Okay. In fact, if you are in Drive and you pull up your names and people that are built into your CRM, it pulls up, right? Same thing with Calendar. It's absolutely beautiful. So I can definitely help you out with that. All right. Okay. So if you have a question and you want to unmute yourself and ask that question, please feel free to do so. While we're doing that, let me just share with you. If you are so loaded down with time, you've got too much to do, or this seems like it's a little over your head as far as the technology is concerned, let me do it. Let's have a one-time consultation. We can talk about what your needs are, what I can do for you. And I tell you, I'm not like companies like, what is it? One of those companies out there are Snap. I think it's Snap Page or something like that, are charging people sometimes up to $200 a month to maintain their Google business page. I am nowhere near that. I have a one-time fee, and I keep your page in tip-top condition for that one-time yearly fee. And I actually work with you directly, teach you how to fish, teach you how to keep your information fresh. And I also work with your web developer to make sure that your technical SEO has its best opportunity as well. And I will help you push your ranking higher than it is today. Now, this is what I've been talking about earlier when I talk about all these other tools that you have that comes along with your Google account. Coming pretty soon. I'm in the process of developing it. I'm editing and ready to put it on a teachable platform, the Google Universe Masterclass. And we start with Gmail. We go into contacts. We teach you everything there is to know about Gmail, the basic, intermediate, and advanced features and functionality, using the automated systems like what you got from the handout today, and many other things that Gmail does that most people have no clue about how to do it, but it's going to improve your communication. It's going to improve how you share information with your public. Also, I go into the client relationship management system, how that works, Google Drive, how to use Google Photos, how to use the Google single page website, how to use YouTube, and how you can absolutely build your client base using YouTube and even make some money if you're very savvy with it. So come to the Google Universe Masterclass. And for those who are going to be coming in early, I'm going to offer a really, really good low price for those who are jumping in early. So you're going to be able to get that. And I'll be sending out an invitation just before it actually hits the teaching site, so that you'll be able to sign up and become a member. I will be doing monthly live videos with updates and Q&A sessions. And it's just going to be a great opportunity for you to learn how to use these tools for your specific business. If you didn't get the handout because you missed it, here's the way to get the handout. Send me the email to william@gwilliamjames.com. In the subject line, type it exactly as you see it. And the magic of Gmail will reply with an email from me with a link to the PDF handout, which I really want you to read. I had to skip over a lot of pages here because of the lack of time. So I want you to take full advantage of that. So again, how to reach me, my website, www.gwilliamjames.com, or connect with me on my email, william@gwilliamjames.com. I welcome all of your questions, comments, and just keep in contact with me so that I can keep in contact with you, and follow me on my social media. You're going to see a lot more content coming up in the near future. So the room is open for Q&A. If there aren't any questions, listen, thank you all for being a part of this. Thank you for joining. If you're listening to this by the recording, thank you for joining me. All these same things apply. Email me for any Q&A that you have, and I will be there responsive to you. I'm here to help you. So thanks everybody for being a part of what we're doing today. And I am going to say farewell. So thank you all, and we'll be talking with you soon. You're going to be getting new content from me very, very soon. So thanks everybody, and we'll see you soon.